Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's BDG Comics back with another one, and today we're doing May 11th, 2022's new comic book day week in review. So all the books that came out on May 11th, I'm going to review them and rank them in order, at least the ones that I read. I have 11 books here in total to give you a ranking of, and well, without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so coming in at number 11, I have Superman, Son of Kal-El. Now, just because this book did get number 11 doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it. I actually did enjoy somewhat all of the books from this actual comic book week. It was pretty good. This issue was about Jonathan Kent and Alfred. It kind of goes into their relationship that they had, which was a new development. We didn't know really that Alfred and Jonathan Kent, which is Superman's father, were like in constant communication. Actually says in here that they communicated every week. They like had phone calls and stuff, just talking about raising superheroes and raising kids. So overall, I pretty much dug the issue. We do get John confronting Jay, based on Batman's suspicion of Jay being like a part of a terrorist organization. And I kind of had the suspicion that eventually they were going to say something about, I don't know, just something political, something about the United States being evil or something like that. And I was right. They did. Woohoo. Good job, Tom Taylor. You think United States is evil. That's great. I'm glad that that's what you feel. I don't know why you live here in this country and you work for a capitalist organization. You should probably just move if you hate it so much and you think it's evil, but whatever. So anyways, there is a pretty cool part of the book that has Adam in it. That was probably the highlight of the book. Adam like goes inside this dude's mind and tries to deactivate a bomb that's in his head. So that's pretty cool. Even if Adam is basically just DC's version of Ant-Man, he's still a cool character, and I do like that they're featuring, different characters at least once in a while in here. It was an okay issue. I'm tired of the political bullshit, to be honest with you. Just keep your agenda out of the comic books. Like, I don't care if you like talk about it, but like, don't be so goddamn preachy. All right, next at number 10, The Scorched, number 5. This was a good book, just like the last book, Superman, but I don't know a whole lot about the Spawn universe. I'm not big into it. Like, I don't know all the backstory and lore of all the different characters and stuff. There's a lot of freaking characters, and this book is a team-up book, so there's probably even more than most of the Spawn universe books, but I'm a sucker for team-up books, and since I didn't know anything really about the Spawn universe, I was like, well, I'll give the Scorched a shot. So here we are with issue number 5, and you have this, the most human character kind of involved with them right now, got poisoned by Plague Spawn, and you don't really know what's going to happen with her. They kind of say that she's going to die, but I just have a feeling, I don't know, she might die, but I have a feeling she's going to transform into like some Plague Spawn zombie or something like that. But I don't know. I don't really know like what to expect, just because I don't know too much about the Spawn universe. Like, I've seen the movie from the 90s, and then other than that, I think I've maybe played a couple of games with him in there or something. I know he was in like Mortal Kombat, but I don't think they like go in depth about like what his story is or anything like that. But I know he's a beloved character, and it's a beloved universe for comic book fans, so I wanted to check something out. And I went with The Scorched, mainly based on the cover of the first one. I was like, that's the one I chose. So anyways, it's pretty good. I don't necessarily recommend it, but yeah, that came in at number 10. It's not too bad. All right, and what do we got next? We got X-Men number 11, and this one's written by, who's this written by? Oh yeah, Jerry Duggan. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Right, like X-Men number 11 came in at number 9. It's not bad. It's fine. You have basically the X-girls, the X-women, which is Rogue and Polaris and Jean Grey and who else was there? Wolverine. The what's her name? Jessica, I want to say is her name. Okay, so anyways, you got like the team of baddie X-Men girls, and they're going to Game World to infiltrate and investigate and see what's going on. It was not a bad issue for sure. Like, I enjoyed it. But again, with the freaking agendas, man, like Jerry Duggan does it here too. They're talking about gambling away a planet or something, like the fate of a planet. And then he has the audacity to insert Jean Grey's monologue saying, oh, it's big bad capitalism. It's the worst thing about capitalism. Gambling has nothing to do with capitalism. It's gambling. Okay, Jerry? I know you're not an economist, but gambling doesn't care about what economic system is employed by the government. It doesn't matter. It's not capitalism, and capitalism isn't evil. I don't understand why do you work for a capitalist company if you think capitalism is so bad? It's not. Anyways, yeah, I just don't know what to say. Like, the issues are great, and then the stupid, phony, like, fake drone NPC authors always insert their stupid agenda. Like, stop. Just write a freaking comic book. Anyways, so there's also a side story here where Sync and Captain Krakoa, aka Cyclops, are going to hunt down Dr. Stasis. And that's kind of also got like an infiltration, like spy theme to it. So that's pretty cool. It's just like X-Men 11, the spy issue. Yeah. And keep your stupid political agendas on Twitter, please. Not in comic books. Also, number 8, Jurassic League. Number 1. This was pretty fun. I did enjoy it. It was a good introductory to all the characters and this version of them. You get Batman, the Joker, Black Manta, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and Superman all as dinosaurs. And it was not lame like I thought it would be. It wasn't cheesy. It was fun. And it gives me like a nostalgia vibe. Not that, this has been done before necessarily, but it kind of reminds me of like a 90s Justice League cartoon mixed with like, I don't know, something else. Let's see, like Biker Mice from Mars or something. It gives me that like Saturday morning cartoon vibe. It's fun. It was a good issue. I'll probably pick up the second one just to keep going, but I don't know if there was enough there for me to like really recommend it or want to go further in the story, but it wasn't bad. It definitely was not a bad first issue. And next we got Immortal Red Sonja. I think I have this one at like 7. Yeah, 7. So it was a good follow-up issue. Basically you just have Red Sonja continuing on her journey to try to release the curse of the chainmail that is imprisoning King Arthur's soul in her chainmail. It was pretty good. You get like parts where Sonja is actually asking Arthur to kind of like guide her and help her, and Arthur's like being kind of trolly and not cooperative. But it's fun. Eventually they get to like Merlin's tower. So I think that's the next issue. It's going to be her like venturing through Merlin's tower, trying to get some answers. All right, what do we got next? At number 6, I think 5, 4, 3, 2. Yep, 6. We got 8 Billion Genies, a number 1 from Image, written by Charles Soule, with art from Ryan Brown. So for me, I know a lot of people said that they really liked this. It was okay. The premise is really cool, and I think that's gonna be what carries the book forward. I just don't think there's enough story-wise for me to really care. The premise is cool, though. It would maybe make for a more interesting not a TV show, but I don't even know. Honestly, I don't know how you would make this more interesting. The story was okay, the art was good, but the premise is definitely what's driving this, or going to drive this forward, if it is driven forward. Basically, there's 8 billion people in the world, and everybody gets like a single use, single wish genie, and they didn't set up like a whole lot of ground rules about what you could wish for, but apparently everybody's wish kind of doesn't act independently of each other. Like, you can affect other people's wishes with your wish. And they didn't say anything about, you know, I want to wish for more wishes or more genies or anything like that, which I feel like that's a cop-out. Like, you don't really have to explain that. Just don't do that. I mean, in real life, sure, do that, because, like, that's the smartest decision, but, like, it's like saying, what's your favorite color? Clear. Okay, cool. You're awesome. Anyways, so everybody on the planet gets one single wish, and you get these people at this bar, and the main barkeeper sets it up perfectly with the first wish, and he says, I wish that nobody's wish on the outside of this bar can affect the people inside the bar. And then just a moment after that, you have somebody wish for something, somebody who's hanging out in the parking lot wish for something that happens inside, and it doesn't work. So that's pretty cool. I don't know. It's all right. It's fine. I'm not gonna continue it on though. There's just not enough. I feel like there's not enough story for me to care. It's more about an idea or a premise, and that is cool about it. But yeah, I'm not gonna continue it. So that was my number 6, and then now we're gonna get to my top 5. And before I actually get off on my top 5, I wanna show you guys something that I picked up. It is my first real hardcover book. I got the volume 1 of Something is Killing the Children. I haven't read anything about this book, but I've heard nothing but amazing reviews and stuff like that. So I'm excited to get going on that book. And then I'll probably start that one this week after I read my books that are new from the New Comic Book Day. And then let's do my number 5, my top 5. I got, at number 5, Captain America: Symbol of Truth. Now, a lot of people were kind of down on this. They were saying it just wasn't very new or exciting or something like that. And that's why I thought that I was going to like it more. Because I want it to be like not brain dead, but just like a classic kind of Captain America beats up some Nazis or some fascists or just some like political activists or something. Like, just Captain America does action with a political like foundation. It was okay. Honestly, it was a little slow. It started off really strong, and then you get to this like backstory thing with Sam and Misty Knight, and it slows way down, which is okay. It kind of needed to slow down, or it was just going to be like a lightning quick 5-minute read, and then we were done. It does give you like a classic Captain America vibe without any of the like modern, like over the top agenda driven stuff, which I liked. So basically Misty Knight gives Captain America, Sam Wilson, a mission, and that mission is to basically hijack a train that they believe is carrying a super soldier serum. And then there's some other people who are also after the train and attacking it, and mayhem ensues, and seems to be like it's going to continue to ensue. Yeah, so it's fun, and I'm excited for issue 2, but I think I'm actually more excited for Steve Rogers' version, issue number 1, which is the Sentinel of Liberty, I believe. So that should be fun. I'm glad that they're kind of like doing both of those books side by side. I don't know. I assume that they would plan on like running into each other at some point and like kind of mixing around, and then, you know, kind of doing this like back and forth thing where they're like not events, but like just crossovers. That would be cool. As long as they don't require you to pick up the other book if you don't want to. You know what I mean? Like, continue the story in a Symbol of Truth. Well, I don't want to do that. I just want to pick up one, you know? Like, hopefully they don't make you go back and forth and pick up both. Because that's really annoying, especially for, like, new hobbyists that want to get into comic books, and now you're forcing other books down their throat. Like, just let them go into it naturally. Anyways, with my number 4, I have Frank Frazetta's Death Dealer. Now, before going into this, I had no idea about what it was. Never heard of the company Opus. I've never heard of Death Dealer. I've never heard of Frank Frazetta. Apparently, it's a really popular, really known, well-known painting done by this guy, Frank Frazetta. He does like fantasy sci-fi paintings, I guess, and he painted this character, Death Dealer. And it's pretty cool. It's dark, it's grim, it's got nudity in it, which, if you're into that, is there. It kind of reminds me of like the Sumerian, but like honestly a little darker, like a little more gruesome and fantastical and a little less real. Which, not saying the Sumerian or Conan is real, but it's more grounded than this. This is like, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's better than like Marvel's Conan stuff by far, but it's not on the level of Sumerian for me. But it's good. I enjoyed it. I'll probably pick up issue 2 just because I want to continue the story and see where they go with it. I'm assuming it's a miniseries. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below if that's a miniseries or if it's an ongoing, or I don't know, maybe it's just an ultra miniseries where it's just like 2 or 3 issues. I'm really curious to see where they go with it, though. All right, and then at number 3, I got Heavy Metal Drummer. I believe this is issue number 5. No, this is 4, I think. I can't remember. It's either 4 or 5. I know it's not the conclusion, so I think it's 4, because I think there was only 5 issues. So, just like the other issues before it, this is a really, really fast read. There's not a lot of like exposition and narrative and stuff like that. It's mostly about like the just insanity and the colors, and it's like a acid trip every time you take, or every time you read one of these. It's like a whole new acid trip. So it's really fast read, fun art, great colors, fun story. So there's these 2 cops that have kind of figured out something about Dave. They got his truck and his license plate number, and they were like right on his tail, and then he catches a ride with somebody else, and they didn't know, but they saw his truck, you know, and they were like they're trying to find Dave. And Dave is doing some bad things, because like he chopped off this lady's head, you know, but she wasn't really a lady anymore. She wasn't really a human. She was kind of like a alien invader. So I'm wondering if they do catch Dave, is he even going to be able to explain what's going on or explain himself? Or is he just too far gone on this like acid trip? Who knows? But yeah, it's interesting, and there's a conclusion right around the corner. Mostly it's just fun. It's a fun book, so I might check it out in a trade if I were you. It would probably read really well as a trade. Hopefully that would be like a $9.99 trade, because there's just not a lot of story, and you would probably read through the whole trade in like 30 minutes. Even stopping to look at the pictures and the colors and just enjoy and take in the art, it's probably only going to take you like 30 minutes, maybe 45 if you're really dedicated to inspecting all the art and stuff. But it's fun, and yeah, that's what I got for number 3. All right, at number 2, Grimm. It was good, but I'm probably not going to pick up anymore. And that's pretty crazy to say. This was my number 2 book of the week. It's a issue number 1, but I'm not going to pick up more. And that's mostly because there's just not a lot there for me. You get Jessica Harrow. She's like a Reaper. And there's more than one Reaper. There's like a whole slew of Reapers, I guess. And they're all different characters from different times. And they all have their own like personalities and their own like cliques, I guess you would say. Like you got some edgelords, you got some like goofballs, you got this dude from like the 16th century or something like that. Like you got all kinds of mix of characters that can be Reapers. So what a Reaper's job is to collect recently departed souls. So if a character or a person just dies, a Reaper will show up and basically ferry their soul to the afterlife. Or escort their soul, I should say, because there is a ferry ride through the River Styx, but not everybody makes it that far, I guess. Some people become part of the River Styx. So anyways, you get this guy, his name is Brian Michael Andrews, and he's in a car accident, and he dies. At first, he doesn't believe he dies, and the Reaper kind of shows him his body and takes him to the afterlife, where he eventually, I don't know if he stole her scythe, or if he just found it after she misplaced it. They kind of didn't explain that very well, but she misplaced her scythe, and Brian, the character who just died, found it, and he goes back into the land of the living, but the mortals who, you know, are in the land of the living can't see him because he's now technically a Reaper, I think. And then she goes back to track him down and get the scythe back, and then as she like confronts him, a cop picks her up, and she's like astounded that the cop was able to see her. And that's kind of the big twist of the issue, so spoilers, sorry. But it's okay. I didn't fall in love with it, but I did enjoy it. It was a fun read. And that was Grimm, issue number 1, which I probably won't be continuing. I might, if it's a small week, I might grab number 2. We'll see. And then at number 1, I got Banner of War, Hulk vs. Thor, part 1. Now this book, people didn't like it. I don't understand. I've seen a few reviews and people were like, it wasn't that good. It wasn't special. This book for me was like the bee's knees. Like, first of all, I didn't love Hulk or Thor as the runs from Donny Cates. I did like Thor a little bit more. Thor started really strong. Like the first arc was incredible. The second arc, not so much. The third arc it kind of started picking back up a little bit, but definitely nowhere near as good as the first arc. The Galactus and I think it's called the Black Winter. Those two like puzzle pieces of that arc were fantastic. I loved it. The Hulk, however, it started off really strong, but it was carried by the art the whole time. The story just didn't really go anywhere, and it was kind of boring. The premise, though, of Hulk is really, really, really good. So I do enjoy that. Now, this one kind of collides those two runs into an event. I don't know how long they plan on doing the event, but it's an event nonetheless. So there's a couple of cool, like, full 2-page spreads in here. There's one at the intro that's for each character. There's one, it starts off with a 2-page spread of Thor recapping where we've gotten to in the runs. The like I said, Galactus and Black Winter, and then you get the Donald Blake arc, and then you get the Magog and Thor, or not Thor, Odin arc, and Mjolnir. You get all of that, and then on the next page, it's a 2-page spread featuring the Hulk and what happened in those 6 issues, I think. So not like a whole lot was explained in that one, just because there's not as much that happened, but it's still cool. And if you haven't read Hulk or Thor, you could pick this book up and be totally fine, because it gives you everything you need to know. And that's awesome. So really good job on that. And then, let's see. So, yeah, that's right. Once they meet, right after those 2-page spreads, you get Hulk kind of like talking to himself. And in actuality, he's talking to Betty inside of his head. And then you get Thor also talking to himself, and Hulk's like, "Who are you talking to?" And Thor is actually talking to Odin inside of Mjolnir. So it's just funny. They're both like talking to themselves in the middle of talking to each other, and they're like, "Who are you talking to?" Like, they're just confused. It's really funny. And then let's see, you got, oh yeah, this is just an action issue. Like, after that, the dialogue kind of stops, and it's just like them beating the crap out of each other for like, I don't know how many pages, but it's awesome. I mean, there is some dialogue, but it's mostly just them just wailing on each other. They mention the thing that kind of started off the Hulk run, where I guess the Hulk killed some people in El Paso, killed like 15 people or something like that, and that's kind of the premise of why Hulk is on the run to begin with. But there is kind of in the middle of this book, there's like a 2-page spread, and it speaks right to my heart as a fighting game fan. I mean, yes, I'm a fighting game fan through and through. Like, I love fighting games. So there's this 2-page spread where it takes the whole scene and turns it into a fighting game. There's like health bars and everything. I'm gonna actually open it up and show you. I didn't plan on doing that, but to me, it's what really pushed this one over the edge for me. Here we are. So this is kind of, it's not in the middle, it's like at the beginning of their fight. Obviously that says round 1 fight. So it's early in the issue. It's not halfway yet, but it's such a beautiful art, and just really cool. And that spoke to me. It reminded me of, you know, the good old days of Marvel vs. Capcom, and how we're never gonna get Marvel vs. Capcom again, which is sad. But yeah, that's my number 1 for the week, and I'm excited again for the next week, and also to see where some of these series continue and conclude. All right, so that's pretty much it for me. Let me know in the comments below, what books did you check out, and what was your top 3? Until next time.